Just in the background on the right, the two Lampre Merida riders making their way up. I'm pretty sure that's Ferrari with Sasha Modolo on his wheel.
Well, it's the late show for Lampre Merida as they get Sasha Modolo into position. At the back end of the final stage, Lotto Soudal have owned it for the last, 10 kilometres or so. A little bit of a push there for Team Roth as he lines up for a late attack, and that won't have gone down too well.
Lotto Soudal seem to have burnt most of their matches. We've only got one rider now looking after Greg Henderson, and this one's getting a bit twitchy, isn't it? It makes you nervous when it's like this.
Belletti is sitting on the tail of Greg Henderson, so he's decided to let his two teammates lead it out, set the tempo on the front, but he's decided not to take up position behind them. So Southeast have numbers, no doubt about it. Have they got the numbers and the legs to surprise the likes of Lampre Merida? Lampre Merida in good position too, sitting on the wheel of Belletti. Belletti in turn just behind Lotto Soudal. And could they be setting up for Chris Beckmans now? Could it be a bit of a change in the order?
No, it's Greg Henderson there, the second placed rider for Lotto Soudal. He's going to be their nominated rider. CCC Polestat coming with a late rush.
No, I think it's Greg Henderson is the leading Lotto Soudal rider, but who's going to get it as Southeast are leading out into the closing stages of this final stage. Team Southeast looking in good shape as also trying to get involved. Loose Mass in the from Caja Rural coming with a late run here on the left-hand side of the road is Sasha Modolo. He's going to be led out by Roberto Ferrari. Ferrari it is that takes it up. Here comes Beckmans on the right-hand side for Lotto Soudal, and here comes Sasha Modolo on the other side. So it's Beckmans against Sasha Modolo. Also involved there is it Mareczko going for Team Southeast. Mareczko it is who gets another stage victory. Amazing success for Team Southeast as he ambushes the World Tour squads. Fantastic performance by Team Southeast as they get their second stage victory of the week and put behind them Lotto Soudal and indeed Lampre Merida in the form of Chris Beckmans and Sasha Modolo. So it's a second stage success for this wonderkind of Italian sprinting. He's the coming man, and he can't believe what a fantastic effort that was for him to get over that finishing hill, and an even greater effort to convert the wonderful performance of his Southeast squad. They presented him into perfect position, and he gave them the win.
What an absolutely great sprint that was. It was very fractious, very messy. We can see here it was with about 300-400 meters to go. We can see here that Mareczko was just up there in second place, gets a bit swamped as well. We saw the two Lampre riders going up the left-hand side. You almost had your money on Brox here being led out by Greg Henderson. And then we can see here Mareczko at the moment is way back, isn't he? And really does get back on terms and do a great job with 500 meters to go here. Mareczko right at the bottom of your screen at the moment.
Yeah, amazing performance. Picks up Belletti at the back end. Absolutely wonderful lead-out performance. Now Belletti launches. Southeast had set it up. All look good for Chris Beckmans at this point on the right-hand side. Sasha Modolo decides to go late, but look at the way Mareczko moves over to the left-hand side of the road, picks it up from Sasha Modolo, and there is a young man with great finishing speed because Sasha Modolo is no slouch, and he puts a bike length between them by the time they reach the line. Well, the man celebrating is Jakup Mareczko. The young man born in Poland, raised in Brescia, and has made it 5 victories of the year for him. 2 of them coming this week in the Presidential Tour of Turkey. Almost forgotten in the process coming to the finish line. An overall success for Caja Rural, courtesy of Jose GONÇALVEZ. So celebrations for Caja Rural, celebrations too for Team Southeast Venezuela. Willier to give them their full title.
Great ride for Mareczko there to take that win, and you can see here he didn't half open up a big gap at the end, crossing over the line. He had a length to spare, didn't he, over the very fast finishing Sasha Modolo, who's, you wouldn't say he's one of the world's best sprinters, but he's certainly top 10, isn't he? He's certainly very fast.
He's no slouch. He's won 2 stages of the Giro d'Italia within the last 12 months, and Sasha Modolo's won 2 stages this week, including putting Mareczko back in his box. And Mareczko failing to time it when his best opportunity happened about 3 days ago, and on that occasion, somewhat chastened, finished 5th on the day, just behind his teammate Manuel Belletti. Modolo taking the victory on that occasion, but Mareczko not getting it wrong on this occasion, as indeed he didn't on stage 5 either, into Milli.
Takes the congratulations there from his teammates, and to be fair, they didn't do the big projected lead out that you thought they were going to do, but they were there when they needed to be, 1s and 2s, and then the finish was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? And here you go with the overall.
So the stage classification, Jakup Mareczko gets up ahead of Sasha Modolo, and Camaro finishes the week with a podium for the Funvik squad. Chris Berkmans hangs on for 4th ahead of ÖRKEN, Colli, Belletti, Stepniak, Zanotti and Groshu. Impressive from Daniele Colli, who was up the road in the last couple of kilometres and hung on to finish 6th in the sprint. Well, we're just a couple of kilometres from Ephesus, this extraordinary, world-famous centre of archaeological heritage, cultural centre, and that's just one of eye-watering sites on view and available in what is one of Turkey's favourite destinations for tourists. It's the great theatre built into the slope of Panayır Daği. We're reviewing a week of racing in which Caja have dominated. This first international stage race success for Jose GONÇALVEZ. We're just waiting for overall confirmation of the final GC positions. But Jakup Mareczko, this is the week which is presented us Caja as real GC contenders in international stage races, and also presented us Jakup Mareczko as a coming man of world sprinting.
Yeah, absolutely. But what you can see here is 2 Southeast riders on the front. Mareczko in the centre of your picture at the moment, almost the forgotten man at this stage. He picks up his teammate who's in a slightly different jersey, in the green and white jersey. The teammate, here you go, at the bottom you can see them, Mareczko. The teammate dives left when the gap opens up, and Mareczko can't make it and goes a different route. And you'll see this just in a minute. I think we're just coming up to about 500 metres to go, and you see here teammate dives left, Mareczko can't follow him, so he dives even harder left, and then goes around the outside of the fast finishing Sasha Modolo, and making some progress there against Modolo, isn't he?
It was fantastic instinct from Mareczko to go left at that moment and not just stay with Belletti, and he had absolutely timed it to perfection, because it looked like Modolo had just come off Lotto Soudal and just timed it absolutely perfectly, but Mareczko, well, it worked out to perfection, and with those sort of instincts and the kind of speed he was able to generate as well, we'll keep an eye on Mareczko. I think he's got a big future.
Yeah, not sure it'll be the Southeast next year.
So, confirmation of the overall general classification. Jose GONÇALVEZ from Caja is confirmed as the overall race winner in the Presidential Tour of Turkey for 2016, ahead of his teammate David Arroyo. And fairly sure that's not quite the full general classification.